Hello, this is Brian Resney, President of Resney Wealth Management. I'm bringing you an important update about the economy and the investment market so you can better understand what we see in the global landscape. We continue to see, generally speaking, across the board, countries starting to improve their economic scenario. We continue to be overweight, mainly mid-cap and small-cap in the U.S. equity, and we did raise some cash a little over a week ago, simply because one of our indicators, one of our top 4 positions in our global tactical portfolio actually fell down around 7 or 8. We're looking to add that cash back into the market, and it may be as soon as a week, within the next week, and we will probably be adding that back into the battered down, or beaten down, better way to put it, emerging markets that are starting to pop back. Ultimately, what we firmly believe in the U.S. economy is things are getting a little bit better and a little bit better. What we're seeing in interest rates is rates are slowly ticking up, as I warned investors before. We're on the right side of the fence in interest rates, as well telegraphed, Ben Bernanke, that QE quantitative, the bond buying purchase they've been doing for the last couple, 2-3 years, will probably be coming to an end. I don't see skyrocketing interest rates, but I see higher rates over the next 3 to 5 years, as I've repeatedly talked about. This puts income investors who are heavily weighted in long or intermediate term bond mutual funds or individual bonds, especially government bonds and muni bonds, in a very bad situation. If I look, as an example, if I look at muni bonds year to date, which we do not own any of, but if I look at muni bonds year to date, muni bonds, generally speaking, that have between a 5 and a 10 year average maturity are down between 5 and 10% year to date. That's negative 5% to 10% year to date. That's a pretty big drop for a supposedly safe asset, which is bonds. Bottom line is this: bonds are going to be the risky asset, in my opinion, the next 3 to 5 years, and I firmly believe equities are going to be the less risky asset. Not that they won't have some short-term volatility, but I firmly believe equities around the world will probably greatly outperform the U.S. bond market and other bond markets around the world. Interest rates, for certain, have basically hit their lows about 2 or 3 months ago, and I firmly believe with the slowly improving economy, not only in the U.S., but also in Europe, some of the emerging markets are gaining traction again. I firmly believe that we're going to see a little bit higher rates over the next 3 to 5 years, and again, that's going to hurt fixed income investors if you're in that maturity level over 3-year maturity. And ultimately, all of our portfolios at Resney Wealth Management are really in floating rate type securities for income purposes now. This gives us asset protection and gives us higher interest as rates slowly move up. As I made a comment earlier, we did raise a little bit of cash because one of our sectors fell out of our top rankings, and that money will be put back to work hopefully shortly within the next week, or it may be towards the end of the month. We continue to like what we see in the overall economy in the U.S., and I firmly believe that many investors who follow a disciplined investment strategy are well rewarded. While I firmly believe the last half of this year is going to be better than the first half in our portfolios, we're off to a decent start for the year, but our main purpose of how we manage money is risk management. So if we lag a little bit on the short term, we firmly believe we'll make it up on the long term. I think risk management is an important part of money management, and we firmly believe that owning relatively stronger assets in this economy are the place to be. If you have questions about your portfolio, if you're a client, please give us a call with any of your questions. If you're not a client and want to become a client, please call our office to schedule a consultation. We always like taking on new clients who are nice people to do business with. Make sure you have yourself a safe and prosperous week.